So HydrogenPro has been here with us at Hanover Messe for quite some time, but there might be some people in the audience that are unfamiliar with your company and the organization. So if you want to maybe give a little bit of a brief introduction to yourself and to your organization and what it is that you guys do.
Yes. Yes, so it's exciting to be back here in Hanover. We have had an extraordinary year back last year. HydrogenPro is a Norwegian company, and we supply turnkey hydrogen plants. And we do the whole thing, supply chain, project engineering, and delivery. And the core components of our plants are from our Chinese partner, THE, also co-exhibiting with us this year. And THE has been for many, many years in the field of water electrolysis. It's fair to say they are one of, or even they are the world leader in terms of newly installed capacity yearly. So they are number one in high pressure alkaline electrolysis and supply the largest units available on the market. These units have been tested and operated in industrial scale. So there's a lot of experience built into the systems and a lot of safety.
How have you noticed that changed your organization since in the last year, for example? I know there's been a lot of talk within the in Norway and within Europe in terms of like hydrogen and electrolyzers and fuel cells. There's been a lot of new developments, but how has this new partnership changed the way you guys produce your technology at HydrogenPro?
Yeah, what we realize is that there's a tremendous demand for hydrogen plants. So there has been a real change when you look compared to 5-6 years back. And we are leaving the situation where people are looking at pilot plants. Now we are working on commercial products. And very excitingly, just recently, we won 2 major contracts. We have been selected supplier to the biggest hydrogen projects in Europe. It's the power-to-gas installation in Dunkirk and hydrogen installation for industrial hydrogen supply in Le Havre in Normandy. These are projects which are developed by the French company H2V. So this has been really successful for us. And now we are in the course of doing the detailed engineering.
So in terms of the hydrogen, in terms of that project in France, what does it mean in terms of the technical advantages, and what can you do now what does this mean for you in terms of capturing the European market?
Well, there's several aspects to this. So first of all, we are strengthening our organization right now. So we have our headquarters in Norway. We have opened an office in France, and we are strengthening the organization by hiring more people. And the big advantage of our systems, if we talk about technology, is that this is pressurized systems. So we have compact units. As I mentioned, the largest capacities on the market. So it's very easy to scale up by just replicating the single units, and then you get big plants of 100 megawatts. So that's the scale we're talking about. And this, of course, enables us also to cut costs in the long term. So we are now leaving the situation where we are in a manufacturing single plants to more serious production of electrolyzer plants.
Yeah, because you're predominantly more industrial focused now, and now because of the turnkey, it's opened up a whole new markets for you as well. So what are other markets that you're looking at right now out?
That's an interesting point. So traditionally, hydrogen has been produced for industrial applications, so it was running a flat production rate, and now we see more and more coming the connection to the renewable market, where hydrogen as an energy carrier is used to stabilize the grid. It can be used as a feedstock to industry. So this is the sector coupling many people are talking about, and it will be more and more focused on that subject. So we produce hydrogen for industrial applications. We can use hydrogen to produce green methane, green methanol, and this opens up a whole new opportunity for this sector. And even with our sister company, we are considering to produce fish feed. So we are coupling the energy market to the food market, which is another dimension to this sector coupling.
When you say sector coupling, for some of those who might not be aware, what does that actually mean in terms of the energy consumption and the cost savings to the client who would maybe who could benefit from this energy coupling from the integrated technology processes that you use?
Well, those who are familiar with electrolysers know that electricity consumption is number one parameter when it comes to operating cost. So I always suggest to our customers, sit down with the electricity supplier and discuss the electricity contracts. So when you have the electricity as one major input factor, make sure you can use other parts of your process to have a better business case and to use the synergies. For instance, we produce oxygen also at high pressure. This can be used in other processes. If you are able to use the excess heat of such a project, then of course you have a completely different business case. And that's the key in all the projects, to see how you can utilize all different aspects in such a process and integrate it with other processes.
So in the long term, the cost of production goes down and the end cost for the consumer would go down because their energy use would.
Well, the energy use is a given normally, but what we are doing as well is we're involved in a research project with a Danish partner where we develop a new type of electrodes which will allow us to reduce the energy by consumption, the specific energy consumption by 10%, and that's significant.
When you say new electrodes, what do you mean by new? Like what is the new component to the technology that differentiates it from your previous products or other products that are here today?
Well, the thing is to have a cost-efficient electrode solution which is durable and produces the hydrogen at lower energy consumption. And that's what we are demonstrating right now.
And are those available now commercially, or are they still in production?
Well, we're in the course of demonstrating this technology. And then when this demonstration is performed, so within 1 to 2 years, this should be available on the market.
So in terms of new projects coming forth, what are you working on? I know that you said you've got the Danish in terms of agriculture with the fish feed. Can you maybe go into a little more detail? Because that's quite interesting, and that's a little bit different than what is going on here with a lot of the other organizations.
Yes, it's indeed a bit different. So we are challenged by many ways in our modern society. So to provide the necessary energy to our people is one thing, but also to make sure that people have enough food on the table is another thing. And food production can be environmentally very unfriendly. So there may be ways to produce food for fish in a much more environmental friendly way. And that's where the production of fish feed based on hydrogen can be a topic.
And I know that when we spoke to you previously, you mentioned you had a container project as well in terms of your technology. We talked about previous projects, upcoming ones. What is going on with your containers right now?
Yes, so I should have said we are producing the whole range of electrolysers, from very small one, PEM electrolysers, small alkaline pressurized electrolysers, and they are typically supplied on skids or in containers. We currently have 3 projects ongoing in Europe, supplying 10, 30, and 100 cubic meter per hour capacity containers.
Do you want to maybe go into who is involved in those projects and where are those projects located?
Sorry?
Who is involved with those projects and whereabouts are they located?
Well, I can say so much. 2 of the projects will be supplied to Germany and 1 to Sweden.
Great. I'm going to open this up. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Hans? Hey, can I get you to introduce yourself?
Christian Meyer, Energy Consulting. What's about the pressure? At what pressure level does it work?
Well, the typical pressure of our plants is 30 bar for the large units. For the smaller units, we even can go up to 50 bars. And this is both on hydrogen and the oxygen side. Okay. And was an add-on question on that?
No, thanks.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions for Hans before we end? Any other questions from the audience? Oh.
What's about the efficiency?
Yeah, the efficiency is, of course, load dependent. And when we look at the power consumption for a stack, it's typically 4.4 kilowatt hours per normal cubic meter produced. And that's at full load.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'll thank you for joining me on stage today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Please, if you want to ask more questions, you can find HydrogenPro at booth E46, which is just in the far corner over here. I know that they'll be here all week and very happy to come have you stop by. Thank you.